Thank you everyone for being part of this webinar. So as you know, we launched last week a series of 6 webinars where we're showing how your company can automate its entire printing process, order entry, proofing, prepress order tracking, printing, cutting, packing, and shipment will all be covered in this series. So my name is Serge Kloos. I'm the software and solution product manager here at Durst Group, and together with my colleague Randy Bear, you may see him on the screen. We'll show you how you step by step how Durst software can manage your company processes from actually pixel to output. So in last week's sessions, we show you how orders from SmartShop, which is our e-commerce solution, can go directly into Lift ERP, which oversees your entire printing business. So today we will be demonstrating how to digitize and automate the sales process using, on one side, Durst's SmartShop, and on the other side, Durst Workflow Plus. So we will begin our e-commerce with our e-commerce platform, SmartShop, and demonstrate how a customer can create a fully personalized product utilizing their own photos or stock images or patterns, as well as adding text elements. So the customer will then complete the order process with inline proofing, shipping, and actually payment. So the order, including the customer created artwork, will automatically be transferred to Workflow Plus. That's very important. So the order is created in SmartShop and it will be transferred into Workflow Plus, where the entire pre-press process actually will be fully automated. We can talk about adding bleed or cut path or all these tasks that can automatically be generated will be allowed with Workflow and Workflow Plus. So here, what we are going to show you is how the file will be driven by Workflow, but also how it will be transferred to the print and the cutting device without the need of any additional work. So moreover, we will demonstrate the power of Workflow Plus with the fix-up chain. So these are automation or automating tools that you can enable to actually process files in a very automatic way. So this we talk about a spot color substitution. We talk about color conversion. We can talk about ink save modification, text extraction, variable data. We can talk about a lot of things, pre-flight, and even file corrections that can be automated. So these are the things that Randy is going to show you right now during this webinar session. So Randy, I think it's your turn now.
Thank you very much, Serge. Appreciate that. And also want to thank everybody. I was actually at a printing facility, one of our customers yesterday, and I had worked in a printing facility for many years, and just being in that printing facility again, I saw and I remember just how crazy it can get. Everyone is wanting their work. All these customers are wanting their jobs faster than ever before. They want things quicker, and we want to be able to produce in the most efficient manner we possibly can. That's where Durst software comes into play. So today, as Serge noted, we are going to start with SmartShop. That is our e-commerce platform. And we have made a fictional company here, Planet Print. Imagine this is your company instead of Planet Print. You could have an e-commerce shop and sell banners, yard signs, posters, standard large format printing type of items. However, we can also do crazy things like fabric. We can do printed pillows, boxes, counter displays, beer bottle carriers, trade show displays, labels, small format. I've seen SmartShop used for so many different applications that allow our customers, our printers, to be able to go out, re-engage with their customers, make it more efficient to receive their orders. Not only that, but then also to be able to get more orders and drive their revenue streams. So for our example today, we're going to start by creating a yard sign. We're going to actually make two products. First one will be a yard sign, and we're going to do it for the local football team, the local soccer team. And of course, here I could go in and spec out, okay, what size yard sign do I want? Do I want step stakes? We can set as many different attributes as we would like. We can have bulk pricing. But for this one, we're just going to design this online, which opens up the Durst Smart Shop editor. I have a logo for the team, but I don't have any background image to use here. So I could make it simple and I could just pick a color, or I could use stock images such as we see here. And you'll see we have two different stock images listed. One is Adobe. So yes, we have a relationship with Adobe where you can go in and have your customers order from Adobe stock. This keeps them in the shop. It keeps them from having to go and find images elsewhere. They can get them right here in the shop. We also have the ability, we've gone out and called our own millions of images so that customers would be able to have their logo, their branding on Durst images. Like I said, we have several million images. It allows your customers to go in and place orders very quickly. We can also do patterns, which you can scale. You can change the background color. Lots of flexibility here. So for this, we're going to go into our Planet Print stock. And I am going to look for a soccer image. Choose soccer because sometimes football is what it is. We know this, but sometimes they don't have that listed properly. And so it's showing as soccer. You'll see here that it's adding $15. So at Durst, we would charge you, say, 8, 10, 12 euro, whatever the price of this image may be. And then you can upcharge that to customers. Customers don't have to leave the shop. They can get their images right here. The nice part about this is whenever I do this and we add this to, not only does it make the product look very nice, it also immediately gives us more money. We have added money without ever even, without ever even putting a drop of ink on the paper. So here is our image. I'm going to scale this up. Actually, I'm going to go full size with it. We're going to set this in the center. And since it's a yard sign and it is for, it is for us to do signups. So we will say sign ups here. I'm going to make this text larger. Make it 100 point. Let's also make it so it's a little easier to read. We'll change it to white. Of course, we can do anything we would like to do with that. We have that. But as I said, I do have the ability to upload my own images as well. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to upload, our logo, our team's logo. So upload that. It's also interesting in Smart Shop, if you have images, you can see this is we can remove the background automatically. If this was a picture, a busy background, you have someone that you want to just cut out the background, you can do that automatically in the shop. You don't need to do anything fancy. You just hit remove background and place picture. Here we have done that, and we're going to scale this up. And we'll just set it right about there. And we're going to add this to the cart. When we add it to the cart, we get a reality preview. We can see exactly what this is going to look like. This is what our output, it's going to be a yard sign. We got the grass right there. We got the stakes there. And we also have a proofing process here where we say, yeah, this looks good. I confirm this and I am going to add it to the cart. So you have inline proofing within the shop. Yard signs are great. Everyone seems to be doing more and more of those. So that is something we see a lot of growth in the industry. And utilizing this type of method within Smart Shop makes everything run very, very quickly. and efficiently for our customers. We'll also show another product that we're going to add. A yard sign is great, and we'll show how that is automatically generated within workflow, so it can be easily passed over and to the RIP and printed. But you may want to do something a little more complex, and that's what we're going to do here. We're also going to do a pole banner or an avenue banner. These can be very complex whenever you're making those for, it's basically a double-sided banner that flips over onto itself. So here I'm going to show you how easy it is, not only for the customers, but for the printing facility where we're going to have a touch-free. We don't need to do anything with this file once it's generated. Of course, we can put in whatever size we want. We can choose what different pole pocket sizes here. And again, we're going to go into the online designer. Customers can upload if they already have one that's completely done. They can, of course, do that. Again, I only have the logo. I only have the logo for this football team. So I'm going to go back into our Planet Print stock images. And again, that can be branded with your branding, your company's branding. It doesn't matter how large or how small your company is. When someone sees that this is here, it looks like, wow, this company is not messing around. They're a big company. We'll again do a search for soccer and choose our orientation. And so we have all kinds of different images we could use. We could use as fields. I mean, just we have 189 pages of just soccer images we can choose from. But for this one, I'm going to choose this. Again, the customer has now been charged $15. I haven't put any ink on any material. I'm already making money on this job. We will set that one just like that. And I am going to upload my team's logo. First, we have the ability to do other things. We can add shapes. If you have a QR code, the system can automatically generate a QR code for you. Hey, here's signups. This is where you need to click on your phone to register for this. Place my picture. I'm going to scale this logo up. And we're going to shoot this up near the top. Again, it will show a reality preview, show exactly what this product is going to be. So we see what it is going to look like in the real world, what the customer is going to get in the real world. It's not just a static, hey, here's your PDF back to you. You get an idea of what your actual end product is going to be. So we have our yard signs that are generated. We have our pole banners that are generated. We're going to go to the checkout. Of course, Smart Shop is a full e-commerce system. You can have coupon codes, you can have sales, you can have discounts, you can save things as an offer or as a quote. Here we're going to go to the checkout. And going into the checkout, you can see we offer different types of payments, credit cards, PayPal, invoice. These payment methods can be set up based on user groups. So let's say you have a customer that is a really good customer, and so it's okay if they pay by invoice. They're really good. It doesn't matter. Say you're open to the entire world, you would just want to start taking credit cards. Just take payments on those. That way, there's no invoicing needed. Can set that up. Every user you can set up however you would like to set them up. Shipping is also calculated within the shop. So you see here, we're going to use some different shipping methods. If a customer needs to have any special requests, they have the ability to add those here. But we know everything looks good. The tax is calculated. We're just going to pick this one up and we are going to send this order in. So the customer has created the orders, the files for us, essentially. They've gone in, they've used the editor, they have put in their logo, they've used stock images, lots of flexibility to do different items. Again, Smart Shop, I've seen people make coffee mugs in the shop. It's incredible. Pillows, you name it. So now this has been created, and if I could go into the back end of Smart Shop and look at it there, but what I really want to do is I want to print this thing and I want to get it out the door. So I'm going to switch to Durst Workflow. Now, Workflow is our, you probably have heard Durst Workflow before. A lot of you may have Durst presses. Workflow ships with Durst presses. It's a RIP. It is a very powerful RIP. In my 25 years in the industry, it's the best RIP I've ever seen. It's interesting, people hear Durst Workflow and they think it can only drive Durst printers. After all, if you buy a P5, Durst Workflow ships with that P5. However, that's not the case. You can also print to Durst presses. You can print to EFI Vutec presses. You can print to SwissQ, Epson, pretty much you name it. We have the ability to look at and see if we can print directly to that as part of the RIP. I've even seen it going to like HP Indigo, small format machines. Of course, it can print to label printers as well. On top of that, you have the ability to generate cut paths that can be used throughout your cutting process. So let's say you have a Kongsberg cutter, a Zund cutter, the workflow software can send those files directly to your cutter. So whenever we say pixel to output, we're not just talking pixel to print. We're talking pixel to output, get this product out the door to your customer faster than you ever have before. We'll take a look at the orders the order that just came in, and we had 2 lines on that one. And you can see here is our the file that came through. But you'll note this file has a big yellow line around it. Well, what is that big yellow line? That big yellow line is what I was talking about. That is your cut path. So the cut path has already been generated by Workflow Plus. The order came in, it was set up for a 24 by 18, but we have had the system automatically generate the cut file, which can then be sent to your Zund, your Kongsberg, your cutter, as well as the print output. So if we scroll down, we can see, hey, here are our ink consumptions. We see one that was an RGB FFF, it's white. And then we also have our die line. So this file that was placed by a customer is completely ready to go. We don't need to do anything else with it, except print it, cut it, and get it to the customer. We can look and see, some of the different things, but I run this was a yard sign is one thing. You're adding a little bit of bleed, that's great. The cut path is obviously phenomenal. But let's take a look at that pole banner, because the pole banner is a little more complex. So as we look at this one, you can see the pole banner as it originally came in. We'll take a look at the before and after. It originally came in without any bleed, without the flip. So now on the left, we have the before. This is what the customer saw. This is what the customer created. However, that's not what we need to produce. We need to produce this so that it flips over onto itself and thus can go on the pole. We'll take a look at this. You'll also see that this shows that this is multi-page. I will show how we can split that and take a look and see exactly what the front and back of this is. Of course, if it's a multi-page document, you could just send it to your press as needed. But here we are going to split this one. Oh, I think I needed to click that. So whenever we create this, we'll have one that is the front of this, and it will show the front half that has the flip. The second half would also show the, excuse me, the back half, where you would have a white top on those. or refresh there. And there we have it. So you can see here is the front page again. As we scroll, we see that we have this. The second page would not have that because it is flipping over onto itself. Again, this was all done automatically. We did not have to have any file prep people go in, touch this. It is completely ready to go. And the question is, okay, what's the magic behind this? How did this happen? And it is using what we call fix-up chains. So for a pull pocket, we'll take a look and we'll see what all can go into that. Fix-up chains, I always like to refer to them as, it's almost like a Lego set for Adobe Illustrator, or different actions that you need to do to a file to get it ready for proofing, to get it ready for printing, to get it ready for cutting. So on a pull pocket, we have these fix-ups in this order. We're going to remove outside objects outside page geometry box, embed missing fonts, flatten layers, convert fonts to outlines, convert pure black to rich black. So let's say that someone sends in something that is has no color, it only has black. You can automatically have the system modify that so that it gives you a 20 20 20 100 rich black that way. Add the pull pockets, and I'm going to go ahead and stop on that one. Each of these has the variables. So as I was mentioning with the, as I was mentioning with the blacks, here you can see, take the color space, and anytime that we have a 100, solely 100 black, go ahead and convert that to a 20 20 20 100. The pull pockets, I think, are even more interesting, because as we add the pull pockets, you may think, okay, well, it can only do top and bottom. That's not the case. You can spec this out to do however you would like. If you wanted to do a left and right pull pocket, you have the ability to do that. You can add additional overlap, you can add hems, pretty much anything you would want to do. We're also going to create bleed by mirroring, and we can spec out, okay, how much bleed do I want to have created for this? Finally, we're going to add a die line to the image box, which allows us to go and make our cut path that is going to go directly to the Zund. We have over 100 fix-ups that you can stack on top of each other. So you can really think about ways that you can automate the whole printing process. The whole logic behind this, as I have said, is that customers send in files, and we don't touch them. They automatically go to the press. Things can be corrected within workflow as well. It automatically sends it through, and you can kind of take a look and see just how many different things. Say you wanted to add grommets or drill holes, you want to have those specced out. So that those, whenever that goes through your production facility, that's automatically done. You don't need to have a pre-press person handle that. You can add pull pockets, which we have shown, and you kind of just get a look at, all the different variables, that you can do automatically to your orders that are coming in. Create bleed by mirroring, create bleed by upscaling. Maybe you want to create bleed on an irregular shape. Someone sends you in a circle and they have not put a cut path on it. You can have workflow automatically generate that cut path on that irregular shape. Tons of different items, and we'll go through a lot more next week. Day, night output, just all kinds of different items. Embed missing fonts, of course, is the biggie. OCR, optical character recognition. So that has the ability to do that. Has the ability to do variable data, which is obviously crucial in today's printing world. And you kind of see everything. It's almost like there are so many items on here that whenever we start talking about everything that we want to do with it, it may be something where it would be a good idea to do a separate seminar on that. And by golly, that's what we're going to do next week. So Please join us again next week. We're going to be going over just everything that you can automate through your pre-press process. Make it completely hands-free. Let those customers order in SmartShop or however those orders are coming in, and let Workflow Plus do all the redundant work so that you can get your products out the door faster to your customers. And with that, I will hand it over to Serge.
So I hope everyone can see my display. So this is just the conclusion now. So I'm sure you get a better idea on how our solution can help your company to be more digitized and more automated. You're right, Randy. It was important to remind that the Durst workflow can drive other printers than Durst printers. Actually, the entire company can run Durst workflow, whether you use Durst printer or not. So that was important. As mentioned, this was the second out of our 6 sessions on our road to FESPA. I really hope you appreciate it. The aim was to have short sessions to provide you with an overview on how our solution can enhance your existing processes. So the next session, as you can see it on the screen, will show you how to automate your pre-press tasks. And so obviously with mostly Durst workflow, we're going to dig deeper into workflow automation capabilities, and this is quite impressive. You're going to see that. If you have any question, feel free to drop us an email. Address is on the screen, softwaresolutions@durst-group.com. We will obviously also be happy to welcome you at FESPA to provide you with all the answers you may need and require. Not to mention, so yeah, this session has been recorded, so we will shortly, I will check that with the marketing team, we will shortly provide you with a link to the recorded sessions. This might be useful for some of them. So it's time for me to thank you all for your time, and hope to see you next week. Thank you very much. Thank you, Randy. It was good. See you next week. Bye-bye.